Thanks for staying with us. So men of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control have arrested 10 suspects over adulterated beverages as the agency shut down the cemetery market in Abia State. I'm going to play a clip so Nigerians can see the report of the bust.
This is the sealed Eziukwu market in Abia State. Here, officials of NAFDAC discovered and intercepted counterfeiters producing a variety of beverages, including wines, soft drinks, and consumables. Over 1,500 cartons of the fake and substandard products were destroyed during the operation, while 300 cartons were evacuated to NAFDAC warehouse. According to NAFDAC, the street value of the confiscated and destroyed fake products is estimated at over 750 million naira. 10 persons have been arrested on arrival at the scene of the crime.
The agency raided over 240 shops that have turned themselves into factories where these harmful products were being produced and marketed. The shops turned factories are very filthy, using water from very unhygienic sources, harmful chemicals, saccharin, coloring, dirty recycled bottles, and cloned packaging materials of other brands. The adulteration of alcoholic beverages by criminal elements in the country is done by mixing of cheaper sources of sugar and starch besides grape or fruit, among other harmful chemicals unsuitable for human consumption.
Methanol, a substance which can be used in fake vodka, is one of the major ingredients used in these adulterated products. The World Health Organization, in their Global Status Report on Alcohol and Health, estimated that more than 3 million people have died all over the world as a result of alcohol poisoning.
Drinking adulterated alcohol can cause nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, drowsiness, dizziness, blue tinged or pale skin, irregular or slow breathing, low body temperature, unconsciousness, and passing out.
This is perhaps the last time the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, will brief the media this year. The word of advice to members of the public is, during this Yuletide season, think about the 4 Ps before buying alcohol. Think about the place.
All right, so join us on the show to shed more light on the counterfeiters involved in the product of several fake beverages, including wines, soft drinks, and other products, is Director of Investigation and Enforcement at the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Mr. Francis Onowu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, madam.
Watching this was breaking my heart because I just kept thinking to myself, why are we doing this to ourselves? I mean, people always find ways around ways. You know, there's nowhere in the world where people always find loopholes, find where you can cheat the system just to make a few bucks. But this has the ability to engender the lives of thousands of millions, even to kill people. So tell us a bit about, I mean, we've seen a few clips, but just give us an idea of what NAFDAC has to deal with when you go for this kind of investigations. What's out there exactly?
It's quite unfortunate that Nigerians have to cope with taking such products that are manufactured by criminal elements. It's quite unfortunate that things that food that we eat and drinks that enter directly into the body system is being faked by criminal elements. Actually, this operation, which we had in Abia, the investigation actually started from the north, or the northern part of the country. Okay. We, in the course of our investigation enforcement activities, we stumbled, in the course of visiting some outlets, we stumbled on some drinks, which immediately we entered the shop. We suspected that it was fake. It actually had a fake NAFDAC registration number. So we removed it. Our officers in Kaduna removed it, then started investigating it. In the course of the investigation, it was traced to a supplier in Lagos. Then from Lagos, we were able to also track it to Abia. Getting to Abia, we started our investigation. At the end of the day, we found out that it emanated from Eziukwu market in Abia. This Eziukwu market is popularly called cemetery market. That was when we now tried to penetrate and actually see, using covert means, to see what was going on there. To our surprise, our surveillance team saw terrible things that were happening there. The whole section of the market had been converted into their shops in those markets, but those shops had been converted into manufacturing outfits where they produce both alcoholic, non-alcoholic, and all sorts of drinks. And all the sections of that area, that is what they do, faking. And you see the environment in which they are producing these products, very filthy, dirty, the kind of water they use, they are not clean water, of course. And we also found out, in the course of surveillance, because we put our men, once we start our surveillance, we put people on ground to study them over time. We were following them up, pretending to be part of them. So at the end of the day, when we had gathered enough intelligence, and also, we also found out that that place was a no-go area for most security agencies because of the criminal nature of the operation. So they take all necessary precautions to ensure that government agencies don't come there. And even when they try to penetrate there, they resist, even with arms, to ensure that they don't get into the market.
Okay.
It took the cooperation of other sister agencies. We normally, Investigation Enforcement Directorate of NAFDAC, we have policemen attached to us, mobile policemen. But we found out that the police could not do it alone because in the course of our investigation, we saw that there was no way we could use only the mobile policemen we have to carry out that operation. We had to seek the help of other sister agencies, like the military, the soldiers, maybe army were there, also DSS and some other sister agencies. We had to co-opt them. And you'll be surprised that we had to work on a day that is taken to be a sit-at-home in the southeast on a Monday. So we busted the place, we cordoned off the place with all the security men we have on ground. Cordon off the place. Yeah. We were able to force our way into the marketplace, even though there were some people within that were actually producing and carrying out all these nefarious.
So let's get a few more questions.
Yes, sir. I would like to, well done, NAFDAC, for what you're doing. I would like to understand the beginning and the end of each raid. So we know that sometimes when these raids happen, when you get into the building, you find the people who are doing the jobs, the workers. We do not hear the drug barons. We do not hear the kingpins, the owners of the businesses being arrested and the bankrollers being prosecuted. So I'm asking, after this raid now, and you pick up probably the people who you meet there handling the business, where does it lead to? What else should we expect in terms of prosecution of the original people behind this business, the real owners of the business?
You know, our investigation, we don't stop at a point. We always get to the final stage where we get the key people that were involved in the operation, in the nefarious activities. So definitely, we have a union, a market union, and we have people that paid for the shops, the owners of the shops. I'm just using that as an example.
Okay.
So they are owned by human beings. And these human beings are the ones that are the main people who are carrying out this activity, even though they are making use of other lesser people who are their workmen. So there's no way, at the end of the day, we will get them. We've always been doing it and we've been getting them. We are very close to it. There are certain things I cannot disclose here. Yeah. We are close to getting most of them. So we get them arrested and we prosecute. We prosecute because for this kind of criminal activity, we don't take it lying low. We take it, at the end of the day, we prosecute it. Because this is a very serious act. Because it's a very serious issue where people will fake. Aside from faking products, they are faking known brands of products.
Yes.
popular brands of products. They fake most of them. They clone the labels and put dangerous chemicals, dangerous chemicals in these drinks and sell to the public as original.
Maybe that's why so many people are getting kidney.
Yeah. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing with our guest. Now, Mary, we had a question.
Yes, I do. So, first of all, of course, well done for this. This is definitely a big bust. But then, you know, it got me thinking that this has been going on for quite a while. How did you miss it? You know, that it took so long till we got here. And I'm saying this not to undermine what you've already done, but I'm thinking of the lives that have been endangered because they have gotten away with this for so long. I'm looking at these drinks. Usually Christmas hampers are filled with things like this. Mm-hmm. So imagine every Christmas or every time we send our children off to school with drinks like this, you know, how are they able to carry out these nefarious activities without us catching them sooner?
We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We cannot be just like how we busted this one. It was just by picking something outside, even far from source where the thing was happening.
It was a random check.
Yes. There are people who are living in that environment. There are people who are working there. There are marketers who knows that what these people are doing is wrong. But they just kept sealed-lipped. There's no way NAFDAC can be in all the sports all over the federation. It's almost impossible. So that is why we need the cooperation of the general public, because we should know that what we are doing is not only for us. It's because if I don't take it, my family members, my extended family members will take this product. Yeah. So we owe ourselves that responsibility to give out information to the relevant regulatory bodies to take care of any issues that has to do with.
Many of us have families who are into Yahoo, but we keep quiet. We have families we're all complicit, all of us.
We're all complicit. So we need to share information so that we can work on these things and clear these things out of the system.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to, you know, before I say what, the place is called Cemetery Market. So that is a very apt name for that market. But I was going to ask, because I see many popular drinks, drinks that we buy on a regular.
National, yeah.
You know, now it's Christmas. People are having Christmas parties. How are we going to differentiate between the fake and the original?
Very good question.
The fake and original is, to be candid, at times it's difficult. It's difficult because these fakers have become so sophisticated that they have that technology, the printing technology, that at times the fake one even looks more original than the main product. Yes, it is true. But there are simple ways we can identify some of these things, because a criminal will always leave some track where it could be traced. For example, there are different issues. If you have a product, for example, if you're wary of where you are buying that product from. Okay. If I want to buy a product, I should know some reputable places that you are sure, at least 90% sure that you get the genuine product. So, but when you get to a place and you see the place and you look at it, even by the setting of that place, you start thinking that maybe it's possible that these people will not be selling the right product. Yeah. You also look at the price, because we cannot say because of the economic situation, we go for the cheaper ones. Of course, the fake one will be cheaper. Yeah. There's no way they will sell at the same price with the original as the original product. So we look at the price too. Once the price is different or cheaper or is lower than the original one, of course, you should start suspecting that most probably that product is fake. Then also you look at the product. Well, before you buy a product, you have to look at what you are buying, the label. I can assure you, if you look at any product, that no matter how this thing is, you will find some mistakes.
So let me ask, let me kind of extend to Obiajulu's question, because what I'm seeing here are cartons. This is money, bottles, this is investment. The owners of these shops cannot just be one regular guy who just has a match. These are dons, people who are well-funded. These are maybe even organizations who are saying these are side hustles, because everything here doesn't look like, they're not cheap. These bottles are imported.
Not
into this
1 million business.
So do you have, even if you don't want to give us all the information, Do you know, have you identified some of these kingpins or the people who are really bankrolling? Because the owners of the shops, I doubt, are the owners of the ones actually.
They may be people fronting for the real owners.
So does NAFDAC have an inclination into who are the big shots behind these things?
From the investigation and the ones we did in the past, we were able to get to the kingpins.
Yeah.
We were able to get to them. This is not the first time.
Okay.
We've been on this job for quite some time. So we've actually, some people are being prosecuted as we speak now. Okay. That are still, so we will get to them.
So
there's no way.
Yeah, talk about this prosecution, like someone who's been caught doing this, the kingpin, the worker, what sort of sentencing do they get? Because recently, the reason I'm asking, just to give you context, I'd read NAFDAC had sentenced some kingpins, and I'm hearing 3 weeks, 4 weeks community service, drug barons. So I'm wondering what sort of prosecution, you get in cases like this.
Maybe commensurate to the crime? This is a crime against millions.
It is not. It is not. And that is always an issue. The issue of the fact that the laws or this thing is not deterrent enough. It is not.
After all your work.
And but we are working on it. Actually, there is a bill in the National Assembly that we're talking of trying to review some of these laws, because these are laws that have been here with us for quite some time. They need to be reviewed, and that is what we are working at. Because for you to have a kingpin who has been convicted and he's asked to pay 500,000 naira, he can just walk to the ATM machine
and
withdraw and pay there.
And continue his business.
And continue his business. Well, but the good thing about it, anyway, is not even with what we have, because we've had cases of conviction of some of these people. You know, the process, the legal process in Nigeria is not an easy one, because the process is so tasking, especially for those criminal elements. And I would tell you that at a point, there was a case when I was in Ebonyi State. So before the case ended, some of the people passed on. They died as the case, because the case took a long time. They were dying one by one until somebody, at the end of the day, the case was struck off, because all of them were almost dead before the case finished. So, and it's a lot of, it's also deterrent to an extent, because the process itself is so tedious and rigorous that at the end of the day, and also we know that once somebody is convicted, it has entered back record.
The DG tried to mention a few of the causes of drinking of these, the effects of drinking some of these adulterated drinks. But sometimes Nigerians will say, I can't afford the expensive one. This one at least is okay. Maybe it's cheaper. Maybe if we give you a few minutes to tell us again, reiterate all the dangers, the harmful products we're drinking, what it can cause. Because like I was saying earlier, that many people, we had like an upsurge in kidney issues recently, and we're just wondering how come everybody just having kidney problems. Yeah. It could have been from some of these drinks, so we don't know. And there's so many other factors that could have led to it.
No, it's a fact. It's true. It's true. It could be from the drinks. Because from a research that was even conducted, it was proven that 4.7% of all cancer cases was emanated from taking alcoholic drinks, bad alcohol. Bad alcohol. 4.7% of some of these cancer cases emanated from that. So you can be sure that aside from the alcohol, because you have ethanol, you have methanol. Methanol is cheaper. I know that methanol is not supposed to be, it's not food, it's not to be ingested. Consumed, yeah. It has a lot of methanol, if consumed, will lead to permanent blindness. Yes. Continue drinking of methanol will lead to permanent blindness.
Lots of people are blind.
Yes. Yeah. Then do you know that aside from the alcohol that is being used in production, there are so many other chemicals that are mixed with these things. And these chemicals, some of them are not food-grade chemicals. They are chemicals, some of them are for dyeing of clothes. They are for so many other, for industrial use, not for food use. Yes, not for the ingested. So some of these chemicals are mixed with these things, and people consume this. And of course, you can be sure that in consuming some of these chemicals, the result, of course, will be damage of the internal organs of the body. That's where you now have, just like somebody pointed out here, upsurge in kidney and liver damages, diseases. So drinking some of these things also could cause all these things.
I think we should just be drinking Zobo. Going for
Just make it in your
Make
house.
it in your house and just drink.
I wanted to ask, would you recommend the death sentence for these people?
Well, the world is moving away
it's
from,
like mass murder.
from death sentence. I think what we should be talking about is life imprisonment. What we should be talking about is...
They'll give their lives to Christ in the prison and
if they give their life to Christ, does not mean the sin will be forgiven. Whatever a man sow, he must reap. Since your sins will only be forgiven when you have sown what you reap. That is the only time sins will be forgiven. But for you to think that you wake up one morning after killing so many people by producing bad drinks for them, killing so many, wiping out breadwinners of families, and rendering children fatherless. Then you now wake up one morning and say you are a pastor. You turn to pastor and you are giving your life to Christ.
But we don't have space in the prison,
I even wonder if there's a department that looks into the psychology of people that do this thing. What are they thinking? Who are they? Like, what has informed them, knowing that they are putting together poisons and selling to their fellow human beings? We sit down and talk about that at all.
These are people who have killed their conscience. They don't have conscience. Their conscience is dead. So these are people who can use their children, their wife, for ritual murder. So for ritual, yes. Exactly. For ritual, whatever, to get money. So what does it matter if they have to produce some of these drinks for people? They have killed their conscience. So such people should not be in the society. They have to be removed from society. That is why people have to cooperate and give informations. Because if you think that it does not concern you, it's a pity. By the time it will start, your family member will be involved, and you find out that you too, you'll be the one that will be spending money to take the person to the hospital. Then that is when you now know what you have caused by not reporting such cases.
They have to give the information discreetly so that they don't get into trouble. These people have the capacity to come after you. You know?
Yes.
And that's why a lot of Nigerians are afraid to just stick out their necks. They will just see it and mind their business. But I wanted to ask, is there any way we can verify the NAFDAC number if we see in products? Does it work like a barcode where we can scan and it takes us straight to the website to confirm? I think that's one of the ways that we can, separate, because once you see NAFDAC, you're moving. Yeah. You can't even identify if it's fake or real.
For now, there's a green book that has just been launched. It's a green book, NAFDAC green book, where all the products that are registered by NAFDAC, you can check. Okay. Once you type green book on Google, you open it. For now, we have that for drugs. Okay. But very soon, other ones are coming up for food and other products that we regulate. Okay. They are coming up online. So, but for now, for drugs, once you type green book, you get all the products that NAFDAC has registered, even current ones. So, but very soon, very, very, very soon, other products.
That will make it easier.
Make it easier for
yes, even in the store, you just snap and...
Green book, NAFDAC green book.
What I'm seeing is a film.
NAFDAC green book.
NAFDAC green.
Right, I trust working. But so, one thing I think that is even probably worse than life imprisonment is naming and shaming, or maybe commensurate, because when we bring out the faces that this is the person, Mr. Whatever is the one that is doing this, and put it out there where his family, loved ones, community, so he's the one. I think that might even go further than just throwing them in prison and nobody knows what they are.
Them, yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but this is also a country where we hear people say, no work now. They did not mean to do it. They are not, we also have a group of Nigerians who sometimes feel that criminality is excused because there's poverty in the land, That's why the law has to come in.
If you just Google type in the NAFDAC number to come out
yes, either NAFDAC number or the products, or if you have the product, you just type the product.
Yeah,
if you want to use the product, or you can use NAFDAC number also.
Even animal feed things.
Once you type it, it will bring out all the products that are registered. If it's not there, that means it's not there.
Wow. Okay, let me take this call. Mr. Wale, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. What I'm saying is that there is a code on some drugs that you can scan and check maybe the register under the NAFDAC. Yeah. Then, in this case, I discovered that most of the like maybe let's use one example or maybe one refugee bottle. All of us in Nigeria we believe that whenever we drink the beverage, we throw it out. There are some people that are after the bottle, which is already have numbers of NAFDAC for me.
Oh, okay.
You
So
understand that? And if all these perpetrators have the things and the cartons of those things, you know that it's carrying the NAFDAC number. How can we separate those things?
Okay, thank you very much. Did you get the question?
Yes, so he was saying...
We're talking about recycled bottles.
Yes.
And that some of them already have
the NAFDAC numbers.
Yeah, the recycle. As a matter of fact, the operation we carried out in a cemetery market, most of the bottles they use here were recycled bottles. So that is why all these, they pick bottles and sort them. But of course, you'll be sure that these bottles will not be properly washed. They are not properly washed, and they are even washed with dirty water. So they are recycled bottles. They pick bottles after using, but the only difference is that, of course, you cannot have the labels. You cannot, most times you will not have the original labels on it. They will have to print their own labels, clone the labels, and
so the NAFDAC number on the bottle will be different from the NAFDAC number on the...
No, the NAFDAC number is on the label. So they will have already printed the NAFDAC number on the label, which they affix on the...
So I was even saying the water is even the least of the problem, the dirty water, compared to all the other chemicals that you're putting in. But I was wondering if, you know, the original manufacturers, the authentic manufacturers can work with NAFDAC in such a way that, you know, you have maybe stickers or some sort of barcode to show that, okay, when it goes from manufacturers, these are our authenticated retailers. So Nigerians can know where to go for original products. And then if you find those products somewhere else with the barcode and, you know, and you see, if you don't find that product in that market, then you know that this is not the original. Have you had those sort of conversations?
I'll let you answer that question after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.